And when I become Prime Minister, the era of Liberals telling the West to pay up and shut up will be over forever.
When I was growing up, I was Liberal NDP, and as I got older, I realized that it matters who pays for things.
Hi! I think there are a lot of reluctant separatists, people who really, they love Canada, they love this country, they just don't feel appreciated by it.
I'm a Canadian, but I want my daughters to have a future. I barely bought a home. They won't.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
So I want to tell the whole world, if they're watching this, buy Alberta Energy, because we have the best.
Last question. Thank you for that wonderful commercial for the oil and gas industry. Sheila Gunn-Reid for Rebel News, and I'm here just outside of Edmonton, Alberta. In fact, this is Nisku. This is an industrial park. And the reason I'm here is this is the warehouse that will house Pierre Poilievre's first Alberta Canada First rally. Now, I talked to the party today. They said 8,000 people have registered in advance. They're expecting about 10,000 people. In fact, they had to switch venues early this morning when they realized that they just wouldn't have enough space for all the people who want to come. This could be Canada's largest political rally ever, history making. So we're going to be here. We also know that former Prime Minister Stephen Harper will be here tonight to introduce Pierre Poilievre. I was on site here at 4 o'clock. It's now 5, just a little bit after 5. There are thousands of people lined up. Some of them told me that they had been here since 3 o'clock. It runs the entire length of this vacant, newly constructed warehouse, down the side, and it's looping around the back. Now, the doors don't open for a couple of hours, so we've got some time to talk to these people. Let's go see what they have to say.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Sheila.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hi, guys. Hi.
Thank you,
Hi. Hi, great shirt. Hi. Thanks, guys. Hi. Hi. Holy moly.
What's your one policy issue that makes you a Conservative?
Cost control, being sensible with our money. Pay way too much tax, going at way too many wrong places.
It's breaking us.
One?
As many.
Everything? It's quite a, I don't know, it's, I'm sorry, it's just too many. It's just more the system, I think, more than anything. And so I recognize there's a global war out there, and I think he's the best chance to actually kill the beast. Because what we have in Ottawa right now is a vicious government, and they need to be put out.
Lower taxes. Is the taxes flat out for employment and stuff. I just did my income taxes. I owe $8,700. For what? Working extra? Like, this is a country right now where you need to work less in order to make it. Mm-hmm. Hard work doesn't account for anything anymore. It's we're in a sad place. Yeah, we're in a really sad place right now.
The economy, mostly, yeah. Just how it's unsustainable right now. It's not even affordable for people that are making good money right now. The taxes and the carbon tax, now that it's paused for a little bit, it'll be back if they get in. Judging by the size of this rally, I can't see it though.
Well, what makes me a Conservative is, number one, I don't like abortion that much. I think that abortion is killing people, and it's murder. So that's number one thing I'm here as a Christian. And then second of all, I believe in infrastructure and building a place like Alberta in Canada.
Strength means that we must rebuild Canada's military, the Canadian forces. Do we have any veterans here in the house today? Give it up for our veterans. Thank you. Thank you for your service. What an incredible honor. There he is. Look at this fellow here. He has D-Day on. Good to see you, sir. Where did you serve?
In the Canadian Navy in the Second World War and D-Day.
A round of applause. Bless you, my friend.
19 at Juno Beach.
19 at Juno Beach. How old were you at Juno Beach?
I was 19.
19. What a hero. What an incredible hero. Thank you, sir.
I just want there to be an affordable living. And conservative values run more with what my work is, for sure. Especially now with Pierre going after the trades. The $4,000 loan he talks about actually put me through school and helped feed me, because he's right, the EI doesn't pay until after it's all done.
Right.
I literally got my first paycheck back at work before I got my EI pay. And that $4,000 loan was probably the only reason I finished my third year. And my wife was pregnant with her, and she was only like a year old. And like that loan really helped. So that's why.
What trade are you in?
I'm a machinist.
My son's a pipe fitter. What makes you guys conservatives?
Just the way I was raised, and I just absolutely believe that it's the right way.
Since we started paying taxes, we're only 30.
That'll do it.
Life has just been getting more and more expensive, harder and harder. And the more taxes, we're trying to grow our family, start our life, buy a house. And you know what? Life's just getting too expensive.
We bought our first house 2 years ago, and now that the last 2 years, our prices are already increased by almost $65,000. And if we were to purchase today, we probably wouldn't have had an option to do that. So
when I was growing up, I was Liberal NDP, and as I got older, I realized that it matters who pays for things. And so that's kind of got my mentality, is where does the money come from? What do you do with it? And that's really a more conservative mentality. It just makes more sense.
Hi. Hey. What time did you guys get here?
I think around like 1:30. No, not 2:30. 2:30.
Oh man. Hi guys. Hi.
Nice to see you, Sheila.
Hi.
Now, what happens to Alberta if the rest of this country elects Mark Carney? Because I'm sure we won't.
We have no choice but to separate.
Yeah.
Yep. Or we will starve to death.
Yeah. There are a lot of people who are reluctant about that. They don't want to leave, but they feel pushed in that direction.
If we stay in this direction, we'll sink. Yeah. If this ship is sinking, and if we stay on it, we'll sink too.
Call it FAFO.
It's going to be like Quebec. Came from Quebec. I lived through a referendum when I was young, and I think Alberta's the only shot that we're the only province that will actually leave at this point. I don't think Quebec will actually do it. They'll just kind of use a dagger but not actually pull the trigger. It's what I've seen in Quebec. But I think Alberta has no choice. There's no other option if we have a Mark Carney government.
It's scary to think about, to be honest. I know you're going to see a big push, more of a push for the separatist, the Wexit, and yeah, I don't know. It's unsustainable right now, and Trump's endorsing him because we all know why.
Is it liberal? Maybe, but a conservative until I got involved, because I don't care who wins up there. I frankly probably would do better with the liberal than the conservative, if you want to know the truth. But
it's an easy pushover, I think. You'll get a lot of kickback from conservatives.
So I like to see some changes in the new government, whether that be whoever. Daniel Smith has been standing up for us in the oil and gas industry.
I think that there is a lot of frustration on the part of Albertans, and I think you see it. I mean, I'd be blind if I didn't see what is occurring in the media, on social media. I have to acknowledge that there's a lot of unhappiness on the part of Albertans in the way we've been treated by the Liberal government for the past 10 years. And unfortunately for the current Prime Minister, he seems to not be very clear about what it is he's going to do to reset that relationship, because he says different things in different parts of the province, different parts of the country, different things in English and French.
Myself personally, I work in the oil and gas industry, and I want to see pipelines passed. I want to see new plants going up. My thing is, if none of this happens, I am voting for separating. Canada.
Yeah, that's funny, because that's my next question for you.
Well, hopefully a vote, which there might be a lot of us saying yes to that don't really want to say yes to.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I don't.
Prospect is frightening.
No.
It's gonna go crazy.
It's gonna be so scary. Like, I am very scared. Like, I've cried a couple times over it because I worry for our future children, and we want to start a family and we want to enjoy our lives and do things without having to check our bank accounts to see if we can actually purchase groceries. And we've had great careers our entire lives already, and it's just been so difficult the longer we've had them. The more money we make, the less we feel like we have.
Right. What happens to Alberta?
I think we start the process of becoming our own country, or 51st state. I don't know.
It's funny because a lot of people are saying it, but they're saying it reluctantly. Like they wish it didn't come to this.
We don't want it to come to this. You know what? I think Albertans, we don't mind working and paying the transfer payments and being part of the federation, but come on, give us a break. Like, the production cap on our resources, just let us work, let us make money, and let us help.
But if they give us Mark Carney, what happens? What do we do?
I think there's going to be a strong push for separation. As much as I love Canada, and I really do, it's the country letting us down, not us letting the country down. So I could see a strong push for it. Whether it happens, that will remain to be seen.
Right.
Well, we're oil fields, so we're probably gone to Texas if we can't get some sort of independence here in Alberta. I love Danielle Smith. I think she'll stand up for us as much as she can, but our hands are pretty tied when the rest of the country's against us, which is the way it's been for 10 years.
Show me your sign.
Mark Carney shouldn't even be here. He has only just moved here in, January?
Well, that's we're separated. We're gone. I don't really care if it's Carney or Poilievre. I want Alberta to prosper, and if Alberta prospers, the whole world will prosper. They want our oil and gas. We have the cleanest energy in the world and the cheapest energy in the world.
We're going to unlock the potential of our Western energy producing provinces. And when I become Prime Minister, the era of Liberals telling the West to pay up and shut up will be over forever.
So I want to tell the whole world, if they're watching this, buy Alberta energy, because we have the best.
Last question. Thank you for that wonderful commercial for the oil and gas industry. My final question for you is, what do you think about the news today that broke that China has been helping Mark Carney?
We are aware of an information operation targeting the 45th general election on the social media platform WeChat. The information operation was launched by Yoli Yomien, WeChat's most popular news account. Intelligence reporting links the Yoli Yomien account to the PRC, Chinese Communist Party's Central Political and Legal Affairs Commission. The content of this information operation contains story about the Prime Minister, Liberal Party of Canada leader, and candidate in Nepean, Mark Carney. This content has been amplified in a coordinated and inauthentic way.
Well, yeah, not surprised by that. That guy's gets help from everybody. That guy's so corrupt, it's crazy. Just do your research.
Yeah, I heard that. That's probably pretty typical. A world banker.
What do you think about that? Shocked?
I think he should be in prison, honestly.
From my understanding, some of the campaign was pushing positive narratives about you. Why do you think that China, the PRC, seems to like you? Why are they praising you?
I have absolutely no idea, and I have absolutely no idea, and I think I'll leave it at that.
Yes, it's not unbelievable. I think it's good that it's come out this soon, but I think a lot of people are probably surprised by it.
Doesn't surprise me. So that's what I'm saying. There's a vicious government in power right now, and they need to be neutered, and you need a new. We need to put our people back into place, because right now that's the issue.
Follow Sam Cooper.
Right.
I mean, he said if Mark Carney comes in, we'll likely have a kinetic war in Canada between America and China. I feel that that's exactly where we're headed, and if we go Poilievre, then we're more on the American side and less likely for that to happen But I think kinetic war is very viable in Canada if we keep going the way that we're going. This is where we're at. Like, it has to change, or else Alberta's going to have to change, right? It's one of two ways. Either we stay or we go. And that's it. I think that's where we're at, I think. We're at a precipice.
Well, nobody talks about it except for Rebel News and a few independents. And, you know, the guys like me that are sharing all your guys' media.
Thank you.
And that's, you know, my way to help to fight it, because it ain't good.
What do you think about the news that broke today that China has been amplifying Mark Carney?
Not shocked. Not even a little bit. No. It totally makes sense, right? They tried to throw Freeland under the bus during her campaign, and now they're backing him. It's not surprising. And the twist on it from CBC, it's not going to work.
Targeted. They said he was targeted.
Right. Yeah.
For help.
This information operation had contrasting positive and negative narratives, first amplifying Mr. Carney's stance with the United States, and then targeting his experience and credentials. The SITE task force assesses that the foreign state-backed information operation was intended to influence Canadian Chinese communities and look to mold perceptions about the candidate.
Total garbage. It's on purpose.
Got 3 citizens. He's a global citizen.
Why is he even here? He's
to rule you.
He has billions. They know it. They know if they play him right out of his pocket, that's going to be good for them.
Watch the money trail that goes down on Carney, and you can see that he's been behind a lot of corrupt stuff in Canada since the very beginning, since 2004, I believe it was. And so I could see that China's been in our system, screwing everything up. And I believe that the reason why we have tariffs, the reason why we have 50,000 people dead of fentanyl and drugs related is all because of China and Mr. Carney.
I think there are a lot of reluctant separatists, people who really, they love Canada, they love this country, they just don't feel appreciated by it.
I'm a Canadian, but I want my daughters to have a future. I barely bought a home. They won't.
Thank you.
Proud. Thank you, Edmonton. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making yourself a positive part of the most important decision that this country is going to make in decades. Canada right now needs change more desperately than it perhaps ever has. And it needs someone to lead that change, my friends.
Hi.
So who is ready for common sense Canada First government like we had ever since? And we're back in my home province here in Alberta. It's incredible. Let's bring it home, my friends. This has got to be the biggest political gathering of the 21st century.
Well, that's a wrap here in Edmonton. There was roughly 15,000 people here. That's NHL hockey game numbers. It was so busy here that there was a 2-kilometer walk to get in at one point, and cell service crashed here because too many people were trying to upload the truth about what transpired here. And that was that this was the largest political rally, I think, in recent Canadian history. It's the largest one that I've ever seen. While simultaneously tonight, Mark Carney did his best to fill a hotel ballroom outside the airport in Vancouver. Now, Prime Minister Stephen Harper had some fun jabs for Mark Carney, who considers it one of his accomplishments to take credit for stewarding Canada through a great recession, when Harper pointed out tonight that it was both him and his finance minister, Jim Flaherty.
I say that as the guy who actually did lead Canada through the global financial crisis. I hear there's someone else claiming it was him. It was, of course, our government, the late, great Jim Flaherty, and our Conservative team, who were responsible for the day-to-day macroeconomic management during that challenging time.
We also saw some new faces, I think, to the Conservative political movement. A country singer, Brett Kissel, was here, and he gave his endorsement for Poilievre as well.
Got a message for people. Edmonton and Canada, it's very important to understand the human being that Pierre is. The guy who's become my friend, and somebody who truly believes in the future of Canada and understands that the past 10 years we've had have not been great. But Pierre is here with all of his colleagues and with all of his heart to make a significant change for a brighter future, something that each and every one of us truly want, not just for us, but for our kids and our grandkids, and Pierre is the guy to do it.
The self-service wasn't the only thing that went down tonight. At one point, the mics went down due to a brief power outage, and the crowd decided to sing "O Canada" until the mics came back on. So we heard "O Canada" the proper way twice tonight.
We stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thank you. We got a power outage. A power outage.
There was also a huge endorsement by the Boilermakers Union, the blue-collar private sector construction union, for Poilievre's policies that will build Canadian pipelines and build Canadian infrastructure.
Pierre is best suited to represent the interest of Canadians when discussing current matters with the American leadership. I'm not going to say his name. Also is the best suited to represent Canadian interests on the global stage. We need to build, build, build. I am supportive of Pierre's willingness to support our industry so that working men and women and their families can have good paying jobs and not have to worry about paying their bills. There will be critics. However, I'm willing to give Pierre the opportunity to walk the talk. Pierre's increased awareness around trade unions has him looking through the same lens as the men and women who work hard on the infrastructure of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, please join in on the momentum that Pierre and his team are achieving from coast to coast to coast in his bid to become the next Prime Minister of Canada.
Well, I think we're going to call it a night. We've been here since 3:30. It's 9:30 now. But I'm just so grateful that Rebel News viewers are supporting our work and allowing us to bring them the truth about what happened at this incredibly historic rally in Edmonton. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. To see and support our independent coverage, which I think is so important during this election campaign, where we know the mainstream media is going to downplay the numbers at these rallies, go to campaign2025.com.